Looking at the local government in the city of Hamilton, New Zealand, you might assume a baseline of widespread prosperity. Bureaucratic wealth is highly visible here. This chart shows the dramatic scale of that civic wealth. The Hamilton City Council's chief executive earns over $405,000 a year, and certain senior council staff sit in pay bands stretching up to $383,805. But the Hunger Monitor study reveals a striking contradiction. Right now, 40% of families in the wider Waikato region lack reliable access to affordable, nutritious food, a state classified as being food insecure. That is the highest rate in the entire country. The council is just one employer. Extrapolating the extreme wealth of a few local government officials to a broader city workforce of almost 110,000 filled jobs creates a severe statistical distortion. Measuring a city's success by the compensation of its highest-paid administrators effectively masks the economic collision happening to the average household. To see what is happening in Hamilton, we must look past municipal headquarters and examine the actual financial reality of an average employed worker. This solid block represents the average annual earnings for the Hamilton workforce in 2024. It comes out to $78,000. Pitted against the macroeconomic pressure of high interest rates, an average household purchasing an average-priced home now sacrifices 46% of that income entirely to mortgage repayments. Vaporizing nearly half of a family's earning power on basic shelter severely limits the money left over for other strict necessities like utilities, transport, and groceries. This pie chart shows the downstream effect of that math. More than 2/3 of the people currently seeking food support in the area are working families, the majority of whom have never needed assistance before. In the current economic climate, the traditional assumption that securing full-time employment acts as a mathematical shield against poverty is broken. This pressure is not isolated to a few unlucky households. It scales across the entire geography of Hamilton's residential neighborhoods. The city is enduring a severe housing shortage cascade. Nearly 1,400 applicants are currently stranded on the public housing register, waiting for a suitable property. This severe housing deprivation does not land evenly either. It disproportionately impacts Maori and senior populations. To map the true scale of the hardship across the city, researchers use the Index of Multiple Deprivation, a tool that measures geographic areas based on income, employment, crime, and housing conditions. On this map of Hamilton, 64.1% of the city's data zones are classified as high deprivation. The most extreme metric lies in quintile 5, the most deprived zones in New Zealand, including Fairfield, Enderley, Maeroa, and Bader. 38% of Hamilton's population lives within these specific boundaries. Extreme, concentrated poverty defines the lived reality for a massive portion of the city. The assumption that Hamilton is universally prosperous is definitively false. Stepping away from the geographic maps, the crisis becomes incredibly visceral. The system is failing at a basic level, when even dual-income working families are forced to navigate social supermarkets and rely on food banks just to survive the week. Massive civic payrolls at the top of the municipal ladder do absolutely nothing to insulate the average citizen from macroeconomic factors and intense cost of living pressures. The new Hamilton working class is defined by impossible daily choices. Parents must choose between paying rent, keeping the lights on, or feeding their children. As long as we measure economic success by the highest earners, we remain dangerously blind to the working poor, ignoring the thousands of residents proving that a paycheck alone is no longer enough to survive.